me turn that off. It says rotate your device. Let me put you right here. Put the camera right there. Let a couple people pile in. Turn that music down for the live get flagged for playing music. Yeah, we gonna talk about it. I see that it struck a nerve. I see that it struck a nerve, so I might as well speak on it. It done struck a nerve. Michael B.Jordan and Harvey. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. This is a conversation that needs to be addressed. It needs to be had. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, good afternoon, black people. Good afternoon. You know what I'm saying? Jen, I see you. What's up? I see y'all. A-Bone, I see you. What's up, baby? Yeah, man, this is it's funny when we discuss as a community, as black people, right? The truth tends to rattle people's cages, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. The truth. Hey, what's up, Ronnie? The truth tends to rattle people's cages. Now, let's be clear. Before we get started, let's be clear. I love my black women. I love all of y'all. You know what I mean? I love y'all. And we should feel comfortable speaking about our shortcomings as a community. You know what I'm saying? Not just only black men's shortcomings, but also our black women shortcomings. So I seen that screenshot that I just posted, and I actually sat on it for about a week. I didn't post it on purpose. I didn't post it on purpose. I said, yeah, let me wait a little bit. Let me let the pot of grits get some steam before I post it, right? So let's take away the celebrity status for a second, right? Shout out to everybody piling in. I see y'all. Let's just take it on a regular playing field. We know a woman that is young. I think she's like 23, 22, somewhere in there. She's a young woman. She's single. She doesn't have any kids, and she's open on the dating market, right? Fine. She's out there. She's dating. She's doing what she's doing. Trying to figure out where is the potential husband out there, right? And usually through trial and error, women go through the heartaches of finding Mr. Wrong. It's a vigorous process before she finds Mr. Right and potential husband, right? But this is not what we're talking about. We're talking about a young woman who's out there, who's just frivolously dating. And again, that's fine too. That's what men do. And that holds no age barrier. A man who is single, who is open to the dating market and is not perpetrating the fraud and leading women on to think that he has a girlfriend at home and he's out in the street running amok amongst us single men. No, we're talking about a man that's single. So now we have Harvey, right? It's on her track record that she dated P. Diddy Sr. and P. Diddy Jr., right? So let's just look at it for face value. Fellas, would you date a woman openly knowing that one of your homeboys or somebody that in the community in passing, that she dated the father and she dated the son? Just based on that. We dealing with facts here. Just based on that's facts. She dated P. Diddy Sr. and P. Diddy Jr. So you kind of got to look at her a little bit crazy. Like, we're not telling you who you can and cannot date. But as far as having some decorum about yourself and having some class. Why would you, of all people, why would you date someone's father and then turn around and then date his son? Last time I checked, that's called hoe behavior. Hoe. H-O-E, hoe. That's hoe-like behavior. And for the women who out there who are defending this young lady, let me ask you a question. And it's specific to the women who are mothers and have daughters. Would you advise your daughter, who's, you know, in the dating range, let's be very adult about this conversation, who is in her 20s, and would you advise your daughter to go out and date the father and then turn around and date the son? Toxic. That's toxic. Now let's flip the scenario. Ladies would have out their AK-47 and be ready to shoot this man down if he dated the mother and then dated the daughter, right? He may get a high five from his peers, right? But it's all in context now. Bad decisions make bad decisions. That was a bad decision on her part, on Lori Harvey's part. We're not telling you you can't date who you want, but you don't shit where you eat. That's the point we trying to drive home. Don't shit where you eat. And it's like, and in reference to Michael B.Jordan. Now, Michael B.Jordan is way older than her. He's in his 30s, last time I checked. Yeah, we not telling him, hey, you know, date whoever you want, but be clear on who you're courting, because they say the apple don't fall too far from the tree. Her mama ain't the best example neither, and I think it's relevant to the conversation. It's like we are breeding a generation of women that are not being held accountable for their actions, but yet men are always being held accountable for their actions. Whatever we do, positive or negative, we are held to a certain standard and accountability, regardless if you're doing good in the community or you're doing bad in the community. But it seems like whenever we reference a black man, it's always a negative connotation. So granted, as black men, we garner that, we put our chest out, and we take full responsibility as a community of how we moving as a community. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that us black men have to do better. So we don't give our black women so much to talk about, because it seems like they focus on the negative. 90%, well, 80% of the time, they're talking about the negative shit that we're doing. So it's like, okay, let's flip it. Now we're talking about the 20%. The 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, women are doing the right thing. They're taking care of their children. They're in this world we call corporate America. They're making their money. They're strong. They're independent. Blah, blah, blah. And they're taking care of their children. They take care of their household. Cool. They got their degrees and everything. But the 20% of women who are not doing their job, and they're out here running amok and causing a wreck and giving solid women a bad name, it seems like the focus is on this 20, the 20%. It's weird. It's like people rather ignore the truth, but they focus on what's not true. You know what I mean? So it's like the 20% of women who are not doing right, it seems like we focus on it. We could just throw everything in there. The ratchet behavior, dealing with multiple men and not being accounted for, especially if these men know each other, that they run in the same circles, or you're out there and you're just having babies out of wedlock. You're bringing multiple children into this world and you're not a married woman. Like, these women are not being held accountable. And when you ask them, it's always the finger pointing. But hey, it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. And why aren't these women being held accountable for the choices that they're making in men? It's not all the time the man's fault. You know what I mean? And we gotta dig deeper. And the end result for me is, let's exercise healing in our community, because it would be nice to, have this fairy tale of every black man and every black woman is together raising healthy babies and raising a healthy community. In a perfect world, that's what it would be. That would be the movie that we would be watching. It would be like watching Wakanda. You know what I mean? A beautiful movie. So my thing is, healing takes place. It takes a village. It takes a community. We need to heal ourselves. But here we are, and we have these crazy scenarios that entertain us, so to speak, of toxicity. This is toxic. A woman that's out there, throwing her physicality out there, because let's be clear, I read before, somebody said, oh, well, she's free to date whoever she wants. Dating doesn't mean sex. Let's be real, and let's be clear on something. If any attractive man is dating an attractive woman, you best believe that sex is something on the table being negotiated. It's being negotiated. I don't know anybody that's dating someone that they are physically attracted to and sex is not on the table. You explore that attraction first, because we're visual creatures. We're drawn to each other. So it is what it is. But the point is that you have to have some decorum, and it works both ways. It's like, if you're a guy and you're single, ladies, would you think it's acceptable for him to date the mother and then date the daughter? Like, keep that same energy if the situation was in reverse. You know what I mean? And now knowing you're a single lady, you're available, you can date whoever you want, would you want to date a guy that dated the mother and then dated the daughter, and it, like, for a fact that he did that? Would you want to date him? And let's take it even further. Would you want to marry him? Is he, in your eyes, marriage material, knowing his track record? So that's all we saying. We looking at it. I'm looking at it unbiasedly. Michael. Shout out to Michael B.Jordan. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, brother, just understand who you're dealing with, and understand the track record of men that she has been dealing with, because it didn't stop with P. Diddy Sr. and P. Diddy Jr. She has a track record of dealing with guys up there. They make their bank is not in question. So she's used to dealing with men that have, quote unquote, they got money, right? So it's like, okay, well, what are you really after if all of the dudes you're dealing with, they all got bread? So the money is not an issue now. Like, what are you after now? Like, do you have a plan? Do you have a plan to be someone's wife? You want to be married with children and be a housewife? Or do you want to be an entrepreneur alongside of your husband and contribute to the household and, be independent, but be co-independent outside of your husband and outside of your marriage, and help bring to the nest egg? But that type of conversation, that's a grown up, real grown conversation. And I believe at her age, I would debate it if she's mentally taken that process, or she's going down that road. I think she is under this pretense of, I'm young, I'm out here, I look good, men want me, I got my own bag, so I don't have to ask for nothing, so let me date as many guys as I can. Cool. No beef, no smoke. I don't care. Do what you do, mama. But have some class, have some decorum, have some discretion. You know what I mean? Have some discretion. You know what I mean? Especially for us black people, have some discretion. That's all we're saying. At the end of the day, we're not questioning her money. We're not, that's semantics. We just know the track record of men that you have been seen in public with. They all have money. And it makes it look like you're not even satisfied with that. You know what I mean? All of the men you've dated so far are definitely out of our tax brackets. 7-figure guys. So it's like, all right, well, if you up there financially too, what is your main agenda? Are you focused on being someone's wife? You know, like what you doing out here in these streets? Because your track record don't look good. And I'll even go out on a limb and say, how come if people say, oh, she has her own money, she has her own money. Okay, well, date somebody that's not in your tax bracket, and then we would have a wholesome conversation about Lori Harvey. That would be conversation worthy. You know what I mean? That would be conversation worthy if she does that. But I think that once you make it to a certain tax bracket, I don't think women even I don't even think they entertain men who are not in that tax bracket. They aim high. You feel me? But you know, that was just my 2 cents. You know what I mean? I'm assessing it from a single guy's point of view with no kids. And I'm an outsider looking in. But me personally, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't date nobody's mother and then date their daughter. Like, no. It works both ways. So that's all I'm saying. That was something that I wanted to bring to light. And we need, as black people, we need to take accountability and stop looking over toxic behavior. And us as black men, we should feel comfortable calling it out when women are doing it, and not receive smoke and people chalking it up to, oh, they're young and blah 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 blah. Come on now. Right is right and wrong is wrong. You know what I mean? Let's move like we got some damn integrity. You know what I mean? As black folks, let's move like how we got some integrity. So that's all I gotta say. All my black melanated folks out there, you know I love you like cook food, love you like grandma cooking. You know what I'm saying? Let's do better. You know what I mean? 2020 was fucked up. RIP to all we have lost, not forgotten. Let's move forward in some positive energy. Like let's call it out. Black men, black women, let's move like a unit. You know what I mean? Like a tribe. Let's call out the negativity. It ain't just, I'm not bad. Oh, you woman back. No, I'm not woman bashing. I call out the silly shit men do too. And what I've noticed is when I call out the shit that men do, my timeline be quiet than a motherfucker. Take note on that. I call out bullshit on both ends of the spectrum. Black men, let's get our shit together. Alright? Let's start being stand-up men in the community. You know what I mean? We only on this earth for a little bit. You know what I mean? We got to protect our black women out here. So let's do right by them. You know, let's stop having a whole bunch of baby mamas. Let's make these women our wives. And keep your dick in your pocket. Do right by your woman. Take care of your home. You know what I mean? Seriously. Black men, if they're going to hold us accountable for the bullshit we be doing, how about they hold us accountable for the shit we're going to do right? Let's do right. Let's do right by our women. Let's put them rings on their fingers and make them somebody's wife. Make them an honest woman. You know what I mean? That's what every woman dreams about, but particularly our black women. They dream about being someone's wife and raising a healthy family. That is what's missing out here in these streets. The regular nuclear family. Man, woman, child. Wife, husband, children. And that's ultimately the bigger picture here. So, you know, it's semantics for people to talk about what and what not to do when you're dating and single. You know? Popular opinion. But you already know what it is. Your boy DJ Shame. Everybody be safe out here. Practice your 6 feet. Distancing, wear your mask, all that shit. Be safe. Get your vitamin C. Drink your hot tea with ginger and all that good stuff. You know I love y'all. I love y'all. I'ma see y'all once outside open back up. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for the call, waiting for that green light so we could be outside partying how we used to, having a good time. You know what I mean? Not stressed out by the ways of the world. So you already know what it is. Builder Shakers, we in here. Shout out to DJ Bliss, DJ Relioso, the whole team, the whole staff. Diverse First, all your green eyes. Congratulations on your son. You already know what it is. Your boy DJ Shane. Love y'all. Peace.